somebody could just either pop off mute or put it in the chat.
Got it, Britt.
Awesome.
Very good. All right. So here's the agenda for the day. We're going to talk a little bit about some education opportunities and the things we have upcoming for you. And then I'm going to turn it over to Brittany to talk about your My CB Desk. My CB Desk was designed to be your place to start for almost everything. And when you learn what you have on there that can be used for commercial, you might be shocked that there are things already there. And then below that, you see some of the items she's going to touch on. And most of those, again, come from the desk. So the first one I want to talk about, though, is education. And this is under Coldwell Banker Learning. I believe it's Coldwell Banker, is it University? It's a learn. You've got about 3 learning or education tabs on desk. And this one is called CB Learning, I believe. And if you'll go there and just do a search for either the word commercial or the word RCC, it'll bring you to this education opportunity. And on first glance, it doesn't really look like a class or anything. This is just an explanation of what RCC is. But if you'll see the bullet points, a couple of them are highlighted in blue. So that means they're hyperlinked, they're active. If you'll click the first one, it takes you to CRE Accelerate. Commercial Real Estate Accelerate is a class designed specifically for you as a kickstart for your commercial career. This is different than the CCIM Foundations for Success class. We love that class. It'll always be part of our recommendation and our requirement for being an RCC, but it really is finance heavy. Tom, you probably loved it if you're a numbers guy, but for those that aren't finance, oriented, it was tough. I think it's a great session, a great tool, but this is a little bit more hands-on, real world, what you can expect from a commercial real estate career and the things you need to be doing from a prospecting standpoint, building your business plan, things like that. So even how to have a first meeting with a client, the things you need to be looking for. It is self-paced. It's in module format. It's very modern. It's very comfortable to do, so you can do it at your own speed and on time. I highly recommend everybody, if you become an RCC, one of the first things you need to do is do the CRE Accelerate class. This needs to be your first continuing education as you get started in commercial real estate. Has anybody else out there seen this or done this class? Hearing none?
I have not. Yeah, I have not.
Kara, is that you? I encourage everyone to take this class. Again, self-paced, you can do it at night at home or whatever, or if you have spare time these days. I know a lot of you don't, but if you ever get spare time, go ahead and start it and go through it. I think you'll really enjoy it and get a lot out of it. A lot like it is the next one, which is a financial analysis, bless you, is a financial analysis class. It's different than the CCIM Foundations class. In my opinion, this is a little superior because it's easier to understand. I'm going to tell you, unless you've got a real strong financial background, some of that CCIM class it was over my head. It was very difficult to do. This is a much more real world, puts it in layman's terms type of a class. I love the CRE financial analysis program. And from this, you'll be able to go and have those meetings with your clients. You don't always have to do the financial calculations for them. And I want to stress this more than anything. I've been doing this for years, and I don't necessarily go in and do the calculations for my clients. I have to ask them the questions regarding what's important to them and what metrics they do use. And I have to understand what inputs they need to do their own analysis. So I go out and find the data they need and give it to them and let them do it. But until you learn how to do that and learn what questions to ask and learn what those inputs are, you're just another realtor to them. Once you do those, understand that, you become more of a resource to them, and that's really where we want to be. So take this again, self-paced at your own, spare time. Do this second, do the other class first, and then do this one. And that'll be a really great start for all of you that are kind of getting your feet wet in this. All right. Before we get into the desk items, I want to reiterate something I spoke on earlier, and that is the monthly coaching classes. Each one of you should be, especially unless you're just got your RCC certification this month or on the verge of getting it, you should be on our email list, and you should be getting invited every month to a coaching session. The last two were, we had RPR representatives on there giving overviews of the commercial side of RPR on the first one. The last one was really more on prospecting and how to actually generate business using RPR. But every month it's a different topic. They're really spelled out for the year. This coming month in March, we're going to be holding a pitch session. If you've never done a pitch session, either at your local association or online, they're pretty fun and pretty exciting. If you've got a listing that you want to talk about, I'll be putting out an email here in a week or two inviting you to send me a flyer, and we'll feature it, and you'll have a chance to speak in front of your peers around the state or Connecticut. And sometimes we have people from Chicago and the Carolinas and all over on these calls. You'll get a chance to talk about your listing and try to encourage people from outside the area to bring a buyer to it. It's pretty exciting. And you'll have a chance to hear about opportunities in other parts of the country. The really cool thing is you're going to get on there and go, wow, this person did a great job. And it's going to make you do a better job. You're going to say, I want some of that. I want to be able to present like that person. I want to create a flyer like they did or include the same information when you see some of these. So it's a great session. Plan on doing it in March with us, okay? And I'll make sure everybody has the dates. We'll re-invite everybody. So that's it for now. We're going to turn this over to Brittany. I'm going to let her talk about your My CB desk and items you can find there from a marketing standpoint. Britt?
Awesome. Hey, everyone. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Brittany Moulton. I'm the field marketing specialist here in Northwest Florida, and I have a passion for commercials. So when Mike asked me to help and be involved, I was super excited. So thanks so much for being here. We're just going to go through the marketing tools, how you kind of can use them universally, not only for your residential business, but also your commercial business. So the first thing I want to talk about is desk. Everything starts on My CB desk. You should be familiar with My CB desk. Two things that I really wanted to point out that I don't know if a lot of you guys know. Number one, there is an RCC PowerPoint on desk, and I'm going to show you exactly how to get to it. It's a PowerPoint that you can download. It's got a lot of information in there, a lot of slides. You don't need them all. You can go in there, customize them, take out what you don't want, but it's a really great deck for you to have as a sample deck for you to kind of customize and build out. The second thing is your email signature. So that's one thing I work with a lot of agents about, is how to get a really great email signature. And I want to remind you that you are an RCC, so you can add that commercial element to your email signature. So we want to make sure that you're adding that commercial piece to all of the elements to brand yourself. And one of the things I feel like a lot of agents forget is that email signature. That email signature is important. Everybody sees it. They send an email, it's there. So I'm going to show you how to do an email signature. So let me exit out of this PowerPoint and go to desk. On the left-hand side of desk, there are some tools here. And the first one I want to show you is this marketing tool. The marketing tool is going to open up hopefully here in a second. And here's where you can create that professional email signature in seconds. So all you have to do is click that generate email signature, put in all your information, and you can add that commercial element. If you already have an email signature that you're working with that you really like, go ahead and just add that commercial piece to it. Remember, we can't use the commercial logo, but you can have that commercial piece to your email signature. So that's one way. The other thing that's new here on our desk in marketing is a QR code. And we'll talk a little bit more about QR codes when we go into In Touch, but I wanted to show you exactly where you would go to generate a QR code. This is something a lot of people are using on their car banners, on their business cards. I do see a lot of QR codes on Facebook, and I do just want to call out, you can't really scan if you're on your phone on Facebook. So it's not really QR codes really aren't meant for marketing pieces that you're going to put on social media. It's really meant for pieces that are live and interactive. Like think of billboards, signs. Well, maybe not a billboard because when you're driving by, yeah. A line rider, your sign, a car magnet, your business card, something that someone can actually have in their hands or close by to scan. If somebody's looking on Facebook, they're probably using their phone, so they're not going to be able to scan that code. So just something to think about. And then the second thing on the desk is your RCC presentation. So if you go up to desk, you can always use the search button up here. If you don't use the search button, I do it every day. I can't find things all the time, and I come up here and I just type them in. Just go ahead and type in RCC, and the RCC presentation should come up. It should be the only thing in this folder. You can just click on that and it will download. It's a PowerPoint presentation. I'm going to open it up so you can see the components of it. If for some reason you go to RCC on desk and you're not seeing this presentation, let myself or Mike know. We'll send it to you, but you should have access to it. And the way to kind of get this and, you know, get it all good and going, go ahead and enable that editing and save it to your computer. Save it as, I would save it as my RCC template PowerPoint, right? And I would come in here and see what I like. To my point, there's a ton of information in here, right? A ton of different pages. You might not need all these. So go in there and take the ones out that you don't want, but keep the ones that you do want, and you have a great presentation ready to go. Does anyone have any questions about those couple items before I move on to the next?
Let me just say, on each page, these are all, I guess, completely editable. Mm-hmm. Every time you see a red box, those instructions are meant to come out. So those are just telling you what you can and can't do on that page. Once you've, done your editing, click on the red box and delete it. So you'll just take it and then.
Yeah, I got the whole box.
Yeah, you got the whole box. There you go. So after you've followed the instructions, you can delete it. But all the pictures, all the maps, everything that are on there, you can replace them with a photo from your computer. So you can insert another map, another picture of the property, whatever you're wanting to do. Mm-hmm. So ultimately editable. And I tell you what, I like it. I like it better than some of the tools I have. And I actually go in here and steal some pages and make presentations with this one sometimes. Even though it's an RCC program and not a CBC one, I've been known to steal some of these pages and use them. So it's pretty nice, guys.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Mike. And you notice it has all of your branding already. It's got your Coldwell Banker Realty logo. It's got your disclaimer. So you're on brand, you're in compliance. So you don't have to worry about that. That's what I love about this presentation. Don't try to reinvent the wheel when you have something at your fingertips that you can just work off of. So that is the deck. Let me close out of that. Let's go back to my presentation so we can move on to our next item. So next is Moxie. So a lot of you guys are probably going to get really sad when you hear me say Moxie because Moxie's been the talk of the town. Both of my kids are super young, so they're into Encanto. And if you have kids right now, you probably know the song, Do Not Talk About Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno. That's my new thing. We don't talk about Moxie right now. Moxie is rolling out as our new CRM, but we're having a lot of hiccups. So a lot of you guys don't have access to the full Moxie. But what we're really focusing on here in this training is the Moxie Present, the thing that we still do have access to. And this is just using the presentation and kind of adding a flair to it. So I showed you one way to make a presentation that's using that RCC deck. The other way is to use Moxie, just like you are with your residential properties, but you can add PDF elements to it. So you can add the comps that you download from the MLS. You can add the different types of elements that you want in the presentation and put it in your Moxie. How you do that is you just go in there and you create that new page and download that PDF and add it to it. So if you have a Moxie presentation that you use that you love, don't get rid of it. Just add to it for your commercial element. Another thing that I would do in Moxie is I'd go into your profile and add that you're commercial. So in that bio section where you can add your bio, make sure you have that commercial element in there. And that should be in all your bios, your InTouch bio, your CB admin bio, your Zillow ad bio, any bio that you have about yourself should talk about that commercial piece, just to remind people, hey, I don't only do residential, I also do commercial. Remember, it's always about branding yourself. So when people start to see you over and over again, they know, oh, that Brittany girl, she doesn't just do commercial, she does residential and commercial. She's awesome. She's multifaceted, right? So we want to remember to do that all the time. And as much as we can get in their face about it, that's what you want to do. So remember, in Moxie, you can add the PDFs, so you can add the comps. You can add any PDF into a Moxie presentation. So if you love Moxie, you're already using Moxie, don't reinvent the wheel. Just go in there and add the things that you want to add. And then remember your bios. All your bios should have that commercial element in there so that people know that you also do commercial. Okay, moving on to the Mac Daddy. So a lot of people are probably going to ask me, why are we learning about InTouch when InTouch is going away? Well, InTouch is not probably going to go away until June. So you need something that's still going to be great right now until we get fully into Moxie. So we are going to spend a little bit of time on InTouch, on the things that you can do to optimize your website that you have on InTouch, as well as the items that you have in InTouch in the marketing department. So that being said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go live and I'm going to show you InTouch. So give me 1 second to toggle back over. You can find InTouch on your desk, and I'm actually going to log into one of our RCCs that I've actually helped with their commercial piece, and I'm going to show you exactly what we can do. All right, so West Payne is one of our commercial RCCs out of the Pensacola office, and I'm going to show you exactly the things that you have in your InTouch account that you can actually put in here for commercial. So the first thing we're going to start with is adding a commercial tab to your website. So let me show you Wes's website. All these pop-ups will go away. Jeez. Okay. So this is Wes's website. So this is the website that you get with InTouch. It's going to be similar in Moxie. So just remember what we're learning today. We are going to be able to carry over into Moxie. It's just going to be a new training. And that will be my rollout with Mike. We'll talk about how to integrate Moxie when Moxie fully rolls out with your commercial. And we'll do a whole nother training on that. So you guys know exactly how to, carry it over. So you can actually add a commercial tab to your InTouch website. So in this commercial tab, what I see living here, Wes doesn't have anything yet, but I see your past sales, maybe a featured property, your information about you as a commercial agent, the area, stats. Mike has really great information that he can send out to you guys. There's different websites that have blogs, good information about commercial. This is where all that should house, is here on your website. That way, what you could do, remember the QR code that I told you about, you can actually use this landing page as a QR code for your commercial business. So you can say, check out my commercial business, use that QR code. They come straight to this page that has everything that they need to know about commercial, right? It's got your information, it's got featured properties, past sales, analysis, market area, right? It's got everything right here in this one tab, commercial, that you don't have to reinvent a new website. It can house on your home website. So if this is something you're interested in, this would definitely be something that you and I could sit with one-on-one. I can show you exactly how to add this tab one-on-one and go ahead and add all those elements. It's just going into the back end of your website and editing it just like you would anything else. So that's the first thing that you can do to stand out in your commercial business. There's a couple other things that we can do in InTouch, which, like I said, it will carry over into Moxie, is these marketing elements. So if we come up here to this marketing tab and we click on Marketing Center, many of you guys already use this tab because you're coming in here making flyers for your residential properties. You're coming in here doing postcards and campaigns. So you probably are familiar with this, but if you're not, you do have a monthly newsletter. So I'm going to click on that. This monthly newsletter goes out once a month. It's already generated for you. Coldwell Banker comes in here, makes a beautiful newsletter, and you're supposed to come in here every month and just review it. Make sure it has the language that you want on it. Make sure there's nothing funky in there. You can add video to it. You can add content. So what I see you using your monthly newsletter for is you have half of it on your residential side and half of it as your commercial business. You can split your newsletter and say what's trending now in the real estate market for residential and what's trending now in your commercial business. So you can kind of break this newsletter in half and have a double feature. So let me show you what I mean. So if I hit this personalized button and I come in here, you can see once it loads that everything in this newsletter is editable. So you can come in here if you didn't want it to say what is title insurance, you could change that. You can change the photo, you can change the links, you can change everything in this newsletter. So what I see you doing is maybe you change this get prep for growing season to commercial highlight or highlighting commercial or however you want to, position that wording here at the top. And then you go in there and you put your stats for commercial. There was a great article that just came out here locally in Pensacola about commercial business that I would probably link in here and feature. Hey, look what's trending right now in the commercial world.
It was only great because I was quoted.
I know. Just making sure you knew that I gave you that call out. So that article I would probably link in here so that they could go and read the sources that and what's happening in the commercial world here in our area. So there's lots of great resources that you can link in here. You can put videos in here. So I wanted to show you one of Wes's because he's really great at putting his videos in here. So if I scroll up real quick and I go to one of his completed ones, there's a couple things he does. So Wes will always put in a video, and usually it's either a recipe or something fun that people want to know. So he's really into cooking. So I challenged Wes, use your cooking and your recipes as your brand, right? Do something fun and exciting that people actually want to watch your content because people want to work with people that they like, know, trust, and they're interesting. So if you're giving me recipes, I'm probably going to watch your video, right? So he comes on here and he does these like 30-second to 1-minute videos about how to make ceviche or guacamole or salsa, right? And then they're really fun. It's not going to let me load them, but if you want to see some of his videos, look him up, Wes Payne. And then he also puts in market snapshot, which I'm going to show you guys in the future of this training. But he puts in some other things, and then he's got his January recipe card, grilled chicken wings. I mean, who doesn't want to get a grilled chicken wing recipe from Wes, right? I mean, I do. So he makes it fun. He makes it inviting. So it's not just us getting something in our inbox that we're going to delete. He actually makes it relatable and content that I actually want to consume as a consumer. And that's the key, right? That's what marketing is finding that balance, right? That education balance, what you do, what you sell, and making it to where I actually want to watch it, consume it, and spend time on it. So that's where we have to find that really good mix. And I think Wes does a really great job doing that. Not only does he talk about his recipes, but he always shamelessly plugs in there. But remember, I do sell real estate, so make sure you call me. So that's your newsletter. So that's one way to get in front of your clients once a month. So once you go in there and you edit your newsletter, you can just add your contacts. So the first big feat, if you don't have any contacts in InTouch, you're going to want to put them in there so you can actually start on this newsletter. Moxie does have a monthly newsletter, kind of the same layout. You will be able to edit it. You'll be able to do pretty much the same thing. So this is not something that's going to go away. You're going to be able to carry this over to Moxie.
Excuse me, guys. I'm going to have to leave. I made an MD appointment about a year ago, so I'll do the recording and thank you. And we'll of course be on monthly, and I'll give you guys a holler if I need any help. But thank you very much.
Absolutely, it was wonderful meeting you.
Thanks, Tom.
Okay. Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Yes, sir. All right, guys, so the next thing we're going to jump into is a part of the Marketing Center where you can come in here to the Marketing Center just like we found your newsletter, and there's flyers and collateral in here that you can actually go ahead and plug in for your commercial listings. So if we go into your design library in the Marketing Center to print marketing, in your print marketing, you've probably been in here. There's postcards, flyers for your farming. There's emails and videos that you can send out. We're going to focus for this training on flyers. So if you click on the flyers, it's going to show you all the flyers that InTouch has that you can come in here and customize. For this training, just because we're really talking about how to showcase the listing, we're going to go to a property flyer, because you can actually pull in your commercial listing on this property flyer as long as it's in the MLS. Well, there's two ways. One way is if you're putting it in the regular MLS, you can pull that information onto this flyer and have a beautiful flyer for your commercial listing. The other way is we can actually come in here and we can edit them, go in there and change the pictures and do it the hard way. But if your property's in the MLS, you will be able to pull in that MLS number. Let me show you how to do that. I'm going to choose this flyer. You see where it says choose a listing? You can either enter the MLS number or the street address. So if you enter the MLS number, as long as you're connected to the MLS with InTouch, it will pull in all that data and make a beautiful flyer here for you. So you can also edit it. So if you decide it's not in the MLS or maybe you want to play around in here, you can just hit that personalize button. Come in here just like the newsletter. Everything's customizable. You can come in here and change all these photos. So you just have to download them from your computer and put them where you want, as well as all your information will pull in from InTouch. Make sure you put on there, though, that Wes Payne is not only a realtor, he's a commercial realtor too. So you're going to want to put that information there at the bottom. And what's great about these flyers, if you haven't used these in InTouch, you can see they're super easy, fast, quick. You can print them at the office. They're ready to go. They've got your disclaimers on them. They're branded. You're in compliance. You don't have to worry about that. And they're ready to go. So let me exit out of there and save. So one thing I want to show you really quick in the account in InTouch under my account, that's where your bio is housed. Make sure you go in there and you update your bio. We already kind of talked about that, but I wanted to show you in your bio, you want to make sure you have your commercial in here. So anytime that somebody comes in here and reads it, you can have commercial. You can see that he has a passion for commercial realty, property management, and real estate industry. So Wes already has that in his bio and it's ready to go. Another thing that you can do in InTouch under email settings is there's already aggregated emails that go out when you add someone to your contact list. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but under email settings, under templates, when you add someone to your website, meaning you add them in as a contact on InTouch, there's welcome emails that are sent out to them. They're usually pretty canned, right? Their call banker kind of puts in that information, and a lot of people don't touch them. That's fine, right? But you can actually come in here and you can manually enter these. So I'll give you an example. I have an agent that actually is selling here in Panama City Beach. She's selling Margaritaville, and that's mainly all her clients. So we came in here and we changed all her emails here to talk about Margaritaville. And it said, for more information about Margaritaville, please follow the links. So anytime she adds a lead into her InTouch, she doesn't have to worry about going in there and emailing them, right? That's a lot of work. She just adds them in, they get this welcome email, and they follow the steps. You can do the same thing for your commercial business, right? You can come in here, talk about how you can get qualified, things that you need to do, a checklist. So you just come in here and you change them and you save. So there's some really great ways to make your life a lot easier, make things more automated. So you're not going in there over and over again and writing the same email, copying and pasting, making sure the name is changed, right? How many times do you do that? I do that all the time. It's already automated. You're ready to go, and it does all the hard work for you. So that's InTouch. Does anyone have any questions about InTouch? That was a lot for me to throw at you in.
You catch your breath?
Yeah, kind of. Questions? Do we still have people on here?
I think so.
People still here?
Yes, we're here.
Okay. Are we doing good?
It's
Questions?
It's just such a fire hydrant. I really like the newsletter thing. I can't believe I didn't think of that before, to split it in half. Thank you. I want to work with you on that.
Yeah, absolutely. We can do that. And I actually meet with her weekly. So we work on her social media and things. So if you guys need help, you have field marketing specialists. I know some of you guys aren't in my metro, but if you need help, call me. I can hook you up with your field marketing specialist. And if they don't have time, just get with me. I'd be happy to sit with each and every one of you and help you with your business. So at the end, like I said, I'm going to put my YouTube channel in the link, and that'll have this video, but I'll also put my email, my phone number, so you can contact me. That way you can, if you have any questions, I can help. Okay, so let's go back to our presentation. And let's talk about Listing Concierge. Listing Concierge is my favorite tool that Coldwell Banker offers, just for its marketing pieces. The fact that the company pays a big subsidiary of it so that you can get affordable marketing. I used to sell marketing for a living on commission, and I used to sell like PPC print ads for like $500 for one run. And these packages, we don't even have a package. Well, we do. We have the premium, the platinum package for $500, but most of these are very affordable. It's got multi-level marketing channels, so you're reaching your individuals in different ways. In marketing, we talk about all the time how it's imperative that you reach people multiple touch points. We're not in a linear marketing anymore where somebody picks up a paper and says, I want to buy that item, right? They're going to go and they're going to search it. They're going to see the price. They're going to see where they can get it. They compare, they do their research. So you need to make sure you're showing up in multiple marketing areas. So what I recommend with the commercial listing concierge, you are able to do a commercial listing concierge. The caveat to that is it has to be in the MLS because some of those marketing pieces pull from that MLS, i.e. the Home Spotter Boost for the boosting on social media is going to pull from the MLS. So make sure if you're going to use a listing concierge package, it's in the MLS. The second thing, the little tidbit I will give you is when you're doing your postcards, I would not send it to a radius, right? So normally I would say if you're doing listing concierge, send those 50 mailers to the radius around the property. I would upload an investor list. So get an investor list. I know Mike will probably talk about the end. He has the ability to get you guys some investors' names. You can upload that list to the listing concierge and send those postcards directly to those investors. So there's a way to strategically market yourself in this commercial business using listing concierge. And I think it's something that the RCCs are not doing and they should be doing. It will make you stand out from the next because you're using our amazing platform to market yourself multi-level. And then make sure, like I said, the listing is in the MLS because it's going to pull that aggregated data to go ahead and do that Home Spotter Boost. And in that Home Spotter Boost, you get your leads, right? So you're getting leads from listing concierge, you're getting postcards, you're getting TV exposure. You're getting your name out there, not only with your residential side, but now with your commercial side. And you can put in your profile on listing concierge that you're a realtor and you also service commercial. So that can be printed on all your pieces. So if you're worried about, well, Brittany, I don't want to just send out commercial because I do a bulk of my business in residential. That's okay. Put that on your pieces. Put that you do residential and commercial. And it just shows that you're a multifaceted agent. Do you have something to add?
Well, you know, all the commercial people in the state of Florida are jealous of listing concierge.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is a beautiful package that we get or have available to the agents that the commercial people really don't have access to. So you should take advantage of this. As far as building lists, let's just go ahead and speak about that real quick. You probably have tools, whether it's whether you know it or not, to pull a commercial list together. A lot of the times the property appraiser's office in your county or whatever, you'll be able to sort by certain classifications of properties and create your own list. I've got a few tools that are kind of unique and special for the commercial world. I can be available to you guys one-on-one to generate some of these lists, but I need some specifics from you. We use companies like Cole. Now you've got Cole already on your desk. I get different Cole reports that are actually Excel spreadsheets strictly for business owners. So almost every county in the state of Florida, and I believe we've got Connecticut and Westchester as well, we can generate by SIC codes, by actual industry codes, who owns businesses in your community. So we can do searches that way and generate a pretty good list using Cole. There's another tool we use called Reonomy. Reonomy is a database. So actually not just the business, it's not business owners, it's property owners. So if we're actually prospecting for medical office space, we can kind of narrow down to that in a certain geographic area and give you a list of people that own those buildings. So if you'll call me and set up a time, I'm glad to actually do some of these searches for you and make them available for you. Just want to warn everybody, I'm not sitting at my desk, doing this all day. I'm out a little bit. So you need to get on my schedule. And some of these are limited in how many downloads I can do a month. So if I run out of downloads, we may have to wait a few days or a week. till I get my account back up. But anyway, somebody's like limit me to 1,000 downloads a month, and I've got hundreds of agents I'm trying to support. So, you know, we can't give you 1,000 necessarily, but I can give you a narrowed down list if you'll help me get specific on what you're looking for. And then the final thing I'll tell you is, even though we can generate these owners lists and these business owner lists, your best list is the ones that you know, the ones that already know who you are. When they get your email, they don't have to go figure out, you know, go to some other source and try to find out who you are. The people you've already shared your contact with before, and you've got their business card and you uploaded it into your CRM. That's the best mailing list you can have. So anyway, that's it, Britt.
Thank you. And you really need only 49 for listing concierge. So we're not talking about a huge list. So make sure you're working those investors that you, to Mike's point, you either know or you have a relationship with. And then the other thing I wanted to touch on really quick for listing concierge is that brochure. So if you're looking to go get another listing in a commercial aspect, having that brochure on hand that's already printed, you're showing the client what you're doing. Not only are you doing everything that a commercial agent does, but you're going above and beyond. Here's a beautiful brochure that I print out, even for my commercial listings, right? You and I both know there's some really gorgeous commercial listings and there's some really ugly ones, right? So you can say, no matter what the commercial listing looks like, you're going to get the same service. That's who I am as an agent. So you'll have that printed piece that you can take with you, as well as the postcards to take with you. So they're tangible elements of a package that you can actually physically take with you on a presentation if you're going to meet with the investor or the business owner or the owner and say, hey, this is what I'm going to do for you. And a lot of other agents out there, I'm not going to even say a lot of other, I'm going to say every agent out there that's in a competitor is not doing this. So you're going to win that listing every single time because you're going that extra mile and you have those pieces in your hand to show. So if you've done a commercial listing and you've already sold the property, we can actually still do a listing concierge package on that property. You're just not going to get that home spotter boost, but you'll get everything else in the package. So you can always back order something and then have those elements for future prospects as well. So something to think about. There's a lot of residential agents that have regretted not doing listing concierge on a property. And I tell them, why wait? Do it. You're going to miss out on the home spotter boost because it's not active. But you're still going to get all those other print pieces that you can use for future listings, because what's the goal of listing concierge? To turn 1 into 3, right? So that's our goal for commercial as well. And a lot of people don't even think about doing a listing concierge package on a commercial listing. So this is a great way to kind of branch out and make yourself different. All right, the next tool we're going to talk about is MarketQuest V2. A lot of you guys are already using this tool, and I want to kind of go live in this to show you if you haven't seen MarketQuest V2. But this is where you can find our market snapshot. Wes had that in his newsletter. You can also find our market position, #1 claims, and our market report, that Mac Daddy report that you can send out to individuals. So let me toggle over to my desk and find my MarketQuest V2 tab. Just remember MarketQuest, if you have that on your desk, it's gone away. We're now in MarketQuest V2, so MarketQuest is obsolete. So go ahead and just delete that tile off the desk. And make sure you're in MarketQuest V2. So like I said, there's 4 reports that you can run in MarketQuest. #1 claims, that's going to show you the #1 claims we are as a brokerage in your area. Market position, where we stand in that market as a brokerage. Market trends, that's going to be that Mac Daddy report that's going to show you that market trends, and market snapshot. So I do want to say a disclaimer here. Anything that we pull from this report, if the commercial piece has not been input in your MLS, it's going to skew, right? So we know that the full commercial agents most of the time are not putting the MLS or putting the property in MLS. They have their other services that they use, like CoStar and Crexy, right? Mm-hmm. And things like that. So they're not always in the MLS. So these are going to be these RCCs that are going to really be putting their commercial properties in the MLS. So some of these reports are going to look a little funny. So I probably wouldn't share them with the public unless you find one that has a lot of data, but it's good information for you to have.
Some of your associations will actually provide a monthly or quarterly snapshot as well. And so, Carrie, I'll ask you, I don't know if over here in Central Florida, if y'all are doing this, but in Pensacola, they are pulling monthly stats out of our commercial MLS. and giving monthly, snapshots. And these are designed to be, copied and pasted and used on your own social media or reproduced. And so again, certain associations are already doing that. You can also go into, if you do subscribe to CoStar or some of these, and create your own commercial reports. This is something I'm not opposed to doing. Again, you need to get on the phone and maybe make a little call with me, and let's talk about your specific, farm area or wherever you work, your municipality. We may be able to give you a little bit of a snapshot if you can't get one on your own.
Awesome. Great info. So I'm going to start with the market snapshot because I feel like that's something that everybody uses, and it's a really great social media tool a lot of agents use. I'm in the Pensacola Association of Realtors MLS. It's the one that's assigned to me, so I'm going to stick in that one, but I'm going to show you how to change that search criteria. So you can search by county, city, or zip code. You can also get even more nitty gritty, and you can actually go into subdivision. So if you're farming a specific subdivision in your residential business, this would be a great way for you to go into that residential neighborhood and say, this is what the stats are in your neighborhood. This is why you need to sell. So that if you've never gone through a MarketQuest V2 training, I highly suggest you sign up on Sales Pro. There's really great trainers. I'm one of them. Connie's one of them, and we train on this product all day. So you can see all of the elements of it. But for the sake of our training, I'm going to go ahead and put in a zip code, 32505. And I'm going to scroll all the way down here, and in my report filters, I'm going to take off single family, townhome, and condo, and I'm going to click that commercial on. And then what it's going to tell you is the time period is going to be for last month. We're still in February, so we won't have the February data until the 5th of every month. So this is going to pull that January data. You can change the price range and then hit update, and it's going to give you a snapshot. Oh, wow, we got some commercial right here. I don't know, I picked a good zip code. So we're up $4 million. Their median list price, sales price, number of properties sold, 1. Properties for sale, 4 right now. It's down 50%. So you can see that data is a little skewed because it's that commercial element. If we were to run a residential, so let me just compare for you. Let's just do single family and that zip code. I'm going to show you that data is a little different. And that's just because, like what I said, not everybody puts those commercial properties in the MLS. So you can see this data is a little different in the residential side. So you're going to want to take this as a grain of salt. It's good information for you to remember, but also remember not all of it's going to be here in this data. So instead of going back to the home page, I'm just going to go to the left-hand side here, and I'm going to click on Market Trends. Remember, that's that Mac Daddy report. This is something that you would use for someone that's very analytical, that wants to see that data. You can actually take this report and put it in a Moxie presentation, which is pretty awesome. And I'm going to click right here. I'm going to do the same zip code, 32505. Use that zip code. And I'm going to do the same filters that I did for the first one, and I'm going to take off single family, townhome, condo, and click on that commercial and hit update. So this report is going to have a lot of information in it. This first one's just going to be your overview. It's talking about January, December, October to December, and January 2021. And then if I scroll down, you've got your average medium sales price with some live links. Like I said, this graph is probably not going to look the same as the residential just because we don't have a lot of commercial data in the MLS, but it does give you a snapshot all the way back to 2019. So it's a good data to compare those results all the way back a couple years. And you can see the different types of reports that it pulls. So you've got a lot of good information here. This graph looks terrible, but I just wanted to show you that this was here just in case you wanted to use it. So if you wanted to share this, you would just export the report. That one graph that was like flatlined, you can actually take off if you didn't want to use this. So we can take out average sales price per square foot, and it's gone. So you can just use some of the data if you want in a Moxie presentation. So that's MarketQuest. A couple other things you can do here I'm not going to spend time on because it's more residential. Number one, claims. You can see where we stand out in zip codes, as well as market position as Coldwell Banker. These are things that a lot of agents like to share on their social media. It's great social media content, but that would be more on your residential side. And like I said, there is a class called MarketQuest V2 on Sales Pro. Okay, what's next? Social media. All right, this is going to be a fun one. So we're going to talk a little bit about social media and how to add that commercial element to your social media. Number one, we're going to talk about your business Facebook page. If you do not have a business Facebook page, please make one. 2 reasons. Reason number 1, business Facebook page allows you to run paid advertisements. You can actually pay to advertise to get more followers. If you just have a normal Facebook, the only people that are going to see that is your sphere, which is a good thing. We want your sphere to see your information, but we also want to get people that are not in your sphere that are potential leads. The second piece of a Facebook business page is that analytical data. You can actually go into your business Facebook page and see where people are coming from. You can see where they're searching from to see if they're coming from a different state, a different county. Do you need to focus your efforts on a different state? Maybe they're coming in from New Orleans. Maybe they're coming in from New York. Do you need to refocus your strategy? The second thing is you also want to keep church and state separate, right? So your business Facebook page is going to mostly be about your business with a mix of your personal life. Your personal Facebook page, we all know we live in a very high political place right now, and people have very strong beliefs one way or another. And if you're putting all that out there for everyone, which freedom of speech, I highly commend all y'all for all your beliefs, but you also want to remember that some people will not do business with certain people because they are so passionate. So let's make sure your business Facebook page doesn't have anything about politics or anything like that, just so we can make sure we keep that separate. A couple places where you can go for some elements for content. BrandServe. If you haven't been in BrandServe houses all of our social media collateral. So let me hop over there real quick just to show you BrandServe. So BrandServe is where you would get any of our Coldwell Banker logos. It's got any of our social media templates that you can download. It has backgrounds for virtual meetings. It has toppers for your Facebook. So it's got Facebook covers. And it's got tons of stuff for you guys to be coming in here and downloading daily. That's the one question I get when I meet with agents. What do I put on my social media? Well, have you been on BrandServe? Well, no. Well, why not? So when you get dropped into BrandServe, if you scroll down, these are our latest tactics. So these are the latest things that we've actually uploaded on here for you to come in and download. So there's one that says your home is in high demand. Obviously, this is more geared towards the residential side. You also have Instagram stories in here, Facebook stories, but there's tons of good stuff in here. There's commercial pieces in here. There's different things that you can actually spin in BrandServe to post.
Could you put a just listed or just sold?
Yes, sir. Yes. So if you go in here at the top where you say search, put just listed. You wanted to come in here and showcase a commercial piece, you would just click this blue listing update headline, and you could use this to showcase a commercial listing. So you'd come in here and hit that customize button. And then it's going to ask you what version you want. Do you like the blue background or the white background? We're going to hit blue background. Do you want English or Spanish? We have a lot of dual people, so you can choose. And then your custom headline. So you can either choose a custom headline where you could put, you know, commercial listing, or you can put for lease, in escrow, just listed, just rented, just sold. So we're gonna do custom. And then you can put new commercial listing. I already have that ready to go for you guys. Then you're gonna add the image of the property. So I'm gonna use one of Melissa's because I have helped her with some of hers. And then it's going to ask for the property street address. For the sake of the training, I'm just going to put my address, square feet, details. You get the gist of this. For your logo, a little tidbit for y'all. Instead of scrolling through all the logos here, just type in CBR for Coldwell Banker Realty, and it'll bring up our correct one. Your agent format. So if you're a co-list, a team, or an agent, you'll go ahead and click that on. So I'm going to do agent. I'm going to skip the team image because I'm not a team. I'm going to add my agent image, and I'm going to be, let's see, who's going to load? Let's be Greg. I'm gonna be Greg today. Then you're gonna skip the team name because we're not a team. You're gonna put Greg's first and last name. It's just filling my information in, which is nice. And your title. So you can put commercial, commercial associate, or you could put residential and commercial, whatever you want to put, or you can put realtor, whatever you want to put, right? Then you'll put your office name. So I'm in PCB, so I'll just put PCB. And then office address, we'll just put that one. Your phone number. And then for license, you don't need a license. We're not in Florida or Hawaii. I mean, we're not in California or Hawaii. And then if you were to add a co-listing, this would be that agent number 2. So if it was 2 of y'all on that listing, you'd put that information in. And if you don't, then you'll just skip it. And then you'll have to agree to the terms. That means that you have the rights to the photos that you updated and all the information is correct. And you can generate a proof. So I'll show you what it looks like. It's going to show up on the right-hand side of my screen, and I'm just going to make sure everything's correct before I download it. So my proof is going to be pink. So anything you see in pink, I edited. If you ever see somebody post something like this on Facebook or social media and you see that it's pink, you can laugh at them because they haven't completed the steps. It's not supposed to be pink. It's going to be white once we move forward. So if we like what this looks like and we don't want to make any changes, I'm going to hit that order button. Move you guys up here. And it's going to take me to a place where I can download my beautiful social media template to share. And I put this on Facebook, on LinkedIn. And here we go. You can see all of that pink went away. It's nice and white and bright. It's branded. It's got my disclaimer and it's a new commercial listing ready to go. So you don't need to go in there and reinvent the wheel. You've got lots of tools at your fingertip. Use BrandServe as a crutch for social media. All right. One thing I do want to talk about is commercial content on your social media. So when I talk to people about their social media, we talk about a social media calendar. So that kind of scares a lot of people, right? So if you're not doing social media right now and you say, hey, Brittany, I want to raise my hand and I want to start social media this year. Do not bite off more than you can choose. Choose one. So if you're already on Facebook, choose Facebook, do Facebook well, do the quality over quantity, and you'll see way better results. So what I mean by that is don't go and open a Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube and say, okay, I'm going to do this. That is so overwhelming. Work on one, master one, and add on as you can, right? So what I mean by commercial content and a social media calendar. So when I consult with y'all, I usually tell you to come up with a however frequent you can commit to post. So in the marketing world, we're going to always tell you post once a day. That's what we're always going to say. But if that's not comfortable for you and that's not feasible for you, then let's talk about a feasible plan. Maybe it's 3 times a week that you start off with. And then we talk about a calendar. So the one day you talk about commercial, all about commercial. The second day you talk all about your residential business. And the third day you talk about something personal / fun so they can get to know who you are as an individual. So think about a calendar and commit to something that you can do, because I don't want you setting unattainable goals that you're never going to reach, right? That defeats the purpose, and then it makes you sad and you don't want to do it again and it makes you frustrated. Make a goal, make it attainable, and let's strive for 2 to 3 times a week, and then we can bump it up from there. Videos. So videos are key, and you're going to hear this from me all across the board. I am 99% more likely to watch something if it's a video versus read something. So if you sent me something that maybe it's great information, right? Maybe I need to know it. I'm probably not going to read it. That's just my generation. We are instant gratification. I want to see it. I want it to be short. I want it to be tangible. So videos are really key. So if you could get into doing some videos about educating on commercial or highlights or things like that, it would be very beneficial for you. Videos are always going to optimize across all platforms. They just give you better optimization. All the social media channels love video. They're going to give you extra kudos. So if you can do video, I highly encourage you to do video. You can add YouTube videos as well as featured listings. So if you wanted to, walk a property that you have, commercial listing, you could. So you could highlight on your YouTube channel commercial listings versus residential, or the same thing on your Facebook. Another resource that's there for you that's free is Canva. If you don't know what Canva is, it is kind of like BrainServe, but it's not through Caldwell Banker. It's a third-party extra marketing tool that you can use where you can go in there and customize if you're creative. So Canva is an option. For Instagram, same thing. Lean on BrainServe. Connect your Instagram and your Facebook so you're posting on both, so you're not reinventing the wheel. Make sure you have your commercial content. Maybe you add a highlight at the top that's commercial. So if you don't know what I'm talking about on Instagram, there are posts and there's highlights. So you can have different highlights that have different content in them. So maybe one of your highlights is commercial, one is closings, one is Pensacola, one is Navarre, right? And so forth. But you kind of lay it out that way. Use videos on Instagram and Reels. Reels, videos, and stories on Instagram are the most optimized things, and they're going to get you seen more times than a post. And then we already kind of touched on highlights in Canva. We're going to toggle over to LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a great resource for commercial agents and agents across the board. It's probably the most underutilized social media tool for a real estate professional. Let me tell you why. Number one, there's groups that you can join where you guys are collaborating. You're learning what other people are doing in other markets, what's working. That's what marketing is, right? You see what someone else is doing, you like it, it grabs your attention, and then you refine it. You refine it to who you are as a person, and you rebrand it to you. So use those groups as a crutch, right? There's also investor groups that you can join and networking, and investors that go on there and ask questions that are looking to buy property in specific areas. Be the expert that they lean on. Connect with them. I can't tell you, I bet you if we looked at the statistical data on LinkedIn and commercial agents, that's probably where a majority of their business is coming from, because they're networking with other professionals on there. And that's where you're going to get those investors, right? They're serious about wanting to know more information. So be that expert. Go in there, spend some time in the groups and the networking. Add that commercial content to your LinkedIn, right? Make sure you're posting on your LinkedIn. It's just like Facebook. Add your videos. So not a lot of people use videos on LinkedIn, and videos are very, very optimized. And then, like I said, recommendations. So this is something that a lot of agents don't do, and I don't know why. So if you're working a deal with another professional agent in our area, even if they're with a competitor, give them a recommendation if they do a good job and ask for one back, right? How much does it say about you if you have recommendations on your LinkedIn from a Keller Williams agent or a EXP agent, or, a different one from another competitor saying that this person was a professional to work with? That's reaching our arms across and doing what we all want to do as real estate professionals, which is help people make their dreams come true. So if you can have great accolades from somebody in the business that maybe isn't in the same brokerage, that really sets you apart. Last but not least, the social media that I'm going to talk about is YouTube. So if you don't have a YouTube channel, I highly encourage it. I know a lot of people started them with COVID when we were doing those virtual tours when people weren't wanting to go out. But if you don't have a YouTube channel, that's where you can house all of your video marketing. And you can just use that link to kind of link it in different places. You can add your YouTube videos to your website and feature them on your website. So if you have a commercial tab on your website, like we talked about, you could feature commercial properties there. Videos that are strictly focused on commercial would be wonderful. And then sharing them on social media would be great too. And Mike brought up a really great recommendation. Sunbelt Title has done these video spotlights, and they're going to come around and do them again, where you can sit in front of a really nice backdrop. It could be even a commercial backdrop, and you can talk about who you are as an individual, what you qualify for, and they'll do a video for you, and you can put that in your bio. You can talk about all how you are as residential and commercial, and it's just a really great free piece, professional, that you can use and showcase on all your social medias as well as your website. I know you have something to add to that.
No, we're encouraging our commercial agents around the state to not only to get to know their Sunbelt title folks, but to take advantage of this service. And Sunbelt wants your business, and this is one of the ways that they're trying to befriend you and to show value to you for using them and working with them. And so they're really happy to do this. And if you haven't done it, or if you haven't seen this done, talk to your Sunbelt rep in your office and ask them maybe to see some examples. And if you like it, if it's something you want, they will schedule a professional videographer to come in and shoot a session with you. So I'm kind of looking forward to doing this. I want to do one for recruiting for as I go out and recruit commercial agents. I can post this on YouTube or send it in an email or whatever.
Newsletter.
So yep, newsletter. So take advantage of all these.
All right, so we talked about a lot today. We talked about a lot of tools that I assumed that you've already been in, but you're probably thinking to yourself, wait, Brittany, I didn't even know what MarketQuest V2 was. So there are classes that you can take on Sales Pro. I've already mentioned that to really understand the tool and how you can use it. But if you ever have any questions, I've already said it, reach out to me, reach out to your field marketing team, get to know these tools. We can tweak them to add their commercial elements in them. As you can see, there's a ton of tools that you guys have at your disposal. I hear all the time from the commercial agents, we feel like the redheaded stepchildren because all these residential agents have so many more tools. So let's use them to our advantage and get you guys out there. Let's make you look like the shining stars that you guys are. So I'm happy to jump on a one-on-one. I do have frequent sessions with a lot of RCC agents as well as residential agents to help them with their business. I'm always available. I'm here to see you guys succeed and to do what you love to do, which is help people open doors. So I think that's the end of my PowerPoint. It is. So I'm going to turn it over to Mike. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to let him close y'all out.
Well, here's the closeout, and is our video back on? Okay.
Yep, it is.
All right, guys, you are very much appreciated for spending your time today with us going through this. When Brittany and Connie and I put on classes or host meetings or whatever, and they're well attended and people are taking this information, going out and using it, it really makes it worthwhile and makes us want to keep doing these things. So I appreciate all of you being here. The next challenge is to try to take some of what Brittany's done or take some of these education classes and put them to use. And let's get some success stories. What I'd really like to see is, I'd love to see some examples of your newsletters. I'd love to see some social media flyers that you're producing. I like to hear that you took the class and you learned something. So any kind of feedback like that we can get, it makes Brittany feel better because she's kind of a, she gets sad if she doesn't get some positive reinforcement every once in a while. And but it actually, it'll help us going forward. The other thing I ask you is to please let us know about what we didn't cover today that you still need. If you feel like that there's something that would make your practice better, bring you more business, let me know about it. Let Brittany and Connie and your local management know about it. And we will do everything we can to produce, programs just for you, just for what you need. So again, I just want to thank you so much for being here. Don't be a stranger. Everybody should have my contact information. Brittany, I think if you haven't put yours in the chat, we're getting ready to, she's going to put her YouTube channel and her contact information in the chat. Reach out to any of us. And I'm going to open it up to questions right now while she's typing her information into the chat button. Comments, questions?
Let's see if there's anything in the chat. Note for later. Monthly coaching calls. When,
Yep,
where?
I'll get that out.
Yes, still here. Thank you, Brittany, for all that. Thank you. Be in touch. You both are rocking. Awesome. Grab that YouTube channel. If there's any questions, please feel free to jump off mute and ask them while I'm grabbing the YouTube link. Yeah, trying to find my. Nobody has questions?
Hey.
You're kind of breaking up.
It's Catrice.
Hey.
I wanted to Brittany Comfort mine. Can you hear me now?
Kind of breaking up a little. Okay, try again.
It's in chat. Just put it in chat just to,
The monthly coaching calls, it's in chat.
yes.
Okay, yep, he
Yeah,
will.
Patrice, I've got a note of that, and I'll make sure, again, some of you people that have only recently become RCCs may not have been on the most recent email list, but we update it every month, so you should be on the next one.
Okay.